We're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing, made in America. Talk about, doesn't that, it seems like that means a little bit more nowadays than ever. Made in America. Both your products are made in America.
That's a fact. Yeah. I go back to, and I don't want to pick on anybody around the world or whatever, but I just recall, I think it was around 2002, 2003, we were selling the finest concrete in the world to China. And in turn, what they did to us was sell us the worst drywall in the world just a few years later.
That's right.
And that's notorious for that. And unfortunately, we continue to trade with them, and there's problems. There's problems with a lot of their product. So the idea is keep America beautiful. Keep buying American.
That's right. Chuck, same to you.
Yeah, I mean we're all our products. All of it is made in the U.S. It'd be, GAF is the biggest shingle manufacturer in the U.S. and their plant is in Tampa for Florida, and then all our metal products are made by Thompson Metals, which is their plant is in Tampa as well.
Wow. Yeah, and that gets you that 50-year warranty as well.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we really like.
Yeah, 50-year warranty. I mean, what a great opportunity. And if you look at the economic conditions, and there are a lot of challenges as Fred alluded to, and you look at where we're at as a country. In Tampa Bay, we have tremendous growth, and we sometimes talk about the sustainability and the challenges that come with that growth. But as far as population and adding folks, and I mean, every time you drive that 54 corridor up there, Fred, you just see tremendous growth up here in Tampa Bay.
Yes, I do, and I would. Because I'm from the Northeast, the Philadelphia area, and I can tell you that the infrastructure down here is superior to what they do up there. For as many people are moving in down here, we are keeping up with the infrastructure, even though the roads are clogged up half the time. But we're constantly doing improvements, and I think I'm sort of guessing at this. I think nationwide, I think the Tampa Bay area is superior with their infrastructure. You would know that more than me, wouldn't you, Brandon?
Well, one of the things that's interesting, and thank you, Fred. And one of the things that's interesting about that is we just saw there's recent tax increase for impact fees. So a lot of people don't really understand how impact fees work and what they pay for, but essentially it's a tax that's going to be passed along a lot of times to the homeowners, to the builders, and it's going to allow them to put money into the infrastructure. And when we talk about that, we're talking about roads, we're talking about sewers, water, pipe, drainage, that whole line of thinking in terms of moving assets from one end of town to the other. So all of that has to be taken into account. And for years, it seems like it was underfunded, and now it has been funded. And this is, thankfully our leaders have thought about this. But when you look at having Super Bowls, NCAA championship, Stanley Cups, all these different things happening, it really talks about how the mayors have worked well. We've had all the mayors on this show, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater mayors, and great sheriff departments, everyone that's involved with the community. But it allows us to be in the nation's highlighted by the Super Bowl, highlighted by these big events that we've seen here in Tampa Bay, fellas.
Yes, we're doing a great job. We're doing a tremendous job.
Yep.
I travel the roads all over everywhere, and I can assure you that they have done as good a job as possibly can be done with the allocations that we have to give them.
Exactly. Yep, and I think I had mentioned as well that we're working on a movie production with Captain Will Smith, and that's another interesting industry because you've seen how Atlanta's really blown up with. It's almost like a new Hollywood up there with a lot of filming going on, movies, TV productions, limited series. It seems like there's so many more outlets now, so there's more content needed. And I believe there's going to be some stuff happening, going to be rolling out. At least our film, is going to be filmed right here in Tampa Bay, and we're really putting a lot of investment effort into that. To kind of revitalize that industry a little bit as well, because it's such a great place, a great backdrop for filming and putting things into TV and movie industries. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, Chuck Peterson, Suncoast Roofing here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. Let's talk a little bit about the economic conditions lately. We talked about rate increases and supply shortages. Chuck, let's go to you first. What are you seeing out there?
As far as increases, or what was the question?
Yeah, just in general, what are you seeing in terms of rate increases? Are costs going up? We hear 2x4s cost more, plywood, of course, maybe shingles. The supply chain has been a little bit kind of backed up. The supply chain.
Yeah, correct. I mean, all those things have happened, especially the end of last year, even the first part of this year. Most of that you can contribute to all the storms that we had last year, and we just don't have the capacity in the United States to make enough product of what was needed, and still is needed. I mean, our supply chain is stretched pretty far. I mean, the shingle operators, not just GAF, but everybody they've cut back the colors that you can get, the timing that you can get material in. Everybody that's listening to this show, if they've ever gone and bought a 2x4 in the last 2 or 3 years, they know what the price of lumber's done. So it's had an impact for sure, but it's across the board. So it's not like it's just us in our industry or Fred in his industry. It's everything everywhere has gone up because it's just a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff being built, a lot of stuff being repaired from the storms, and people just staying at home and doing more stuff at their houses.
Yeah. Same question to you, Fred. Tampa Screens and Aluminum.
I mean, my easiest answer would be ditto, and I could tell you, one of our main products is this insulated composite roof panel. We use a product made by Structall, who was I believe they were the original manufacturer of that product, and I think we're between 4 and 8 weeks out on back order on that product right now. I think I got 16 or 18 jobs in. Ready for install, but we can't get the product right now. And, customers are calling me, and all you can do is tell them the truth. And they'll call into our office, and our girl in the office will say, the minute that I hear from the manufacturer is the next minute I'll be contacting you, because the manufacturer can't even give us an update. That's how backed up the industry is. It's amazing. So wow. I'm sure you've seen them panel roofs, right? Brandon, the insulated composite, and you too, Chuck. I know you've seen them. I mean, it is the roof that you use on a screen room right now, and you can walk on it. It's very nice. You can hang fans. They have beams in them, but everybody wants them. And man, just in my stack of jobs, my personal stack of jobs, I think there's 36 jobs in progress right now, and I'm going to go out and sign 2 more today.
Wow.
I mean, that's just the way it's going. Yeah. That's why I don't have time to do anything with real estate, Brandon. Sorry.
There you go. Yeah, you got your real estate license as your back pocket dig, right?
Yeah. It's amazing because all the training that you go through, and I train. I also carry that appraiser's license as well, and all the training that you go through. If you can implement that in what I do now with selling the aluminum, the screen rooms. Yep. I think you seem to come across a little more professional because you're in the back of your mind is you never want to step over the line and break the ethics rule. Right. And, what that's all about. So, I do that. I keep that in the back of my mind when I'm selling these projects, and right. I have to. I don't want anything to go wrong on what we do. Of course, Murphy's Law is out there. Sometimes things do go wrong.
That's right. Lots of moving parts. Well, hey, when we come back, I want to ask you also if you're hiring. I want to talk about the labor pool as well as permitting, and maybe you could help walk us through some of the different processes and steps, help the folks understand that. So stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Ward Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.